Hello and welcome to this Astranti YouTube video on how to achieve better time management through planning. And if you like this video, then please like it and subscribe at the bottom. Visit the website at www.astranti.com. Now, as we move on to a new syllabus for CIMA, and many of you may be taking your very first case study exam, unfortunately for students, time management in the case study exam is a huge problem, and we have many students on our courses and we offer many mock exams for them, and when they are sitting their mock exams, most students do not complete the first mock. And there'll be plenty of other students out there who are looking at mock exams, who are taking mock exams, doing past papers, etc., and they too will rarely complete their first attempt if they do it in the time that is set. And when you consider that many students don't even take any mock exams and don't even look at any past papers, that first attempt will be in their actual exam. So in their actual exam, they'll be unlikely to complete it. And that's very important because in order to maximize your chance of passing, you have to attempt every single question. But by using your plan effectively and putting time management into your plan, you will be more on top of your time because you will give yourself an indicator of just how much time you can have on certain sections before you move on. And the best way to explain this is by using an example. So in an operational management case study, you'll have 45 minutes for a question. In the strategic exam, you'll have 60 minutes per question. And we advise that you spend 25% of your time planning. So a 45-minute question, that translates to 11 minutes for planning. For a 60-minute question, that will be 15 minutes. And that leaves you with 34 minutes to actually write your answer. So if you have a question, and let's say that that question has two distinct parts and CIMA has given you the weighting of each part. The first part is 55% and the second part is worth 45%. Now, if you have 34 minutes, once you have deducted your 11 minutes of planning, and the first part of the question is worth 55%, you should be giving yourself 18 minutes to write that part, with the remaining time used to answer the second part, which is worth 45%. And I've got a structure here, and this structure would be one that you had perhaps created as you were planning. There's no context to this because, of course, this video is just purely about the importance of adding time into your plan and to show you the benefits of it. So we've got a 55% part of the question, and there's two parts within that: an introduction for the first and second sections of it, and 3 benefits to be listed and 3 methods to be listed. And the mark allocation looks something like this. So we've got a mark for each of our introductions, and then we've got 2 marks for each of our benefits and our methods. And so now we want to allocate our time to that. We've got 18 minutes. And so that works out at roughly between 1 and 2 minutes per mark, or 1.5 minutes per mark, although you will notice that we have run out of time slightly at the end, so we have to wrap up our method 3 in only 2 minutes. And again, this is not an exact science. You do not need to worry too much about splitting it up exactly by the amount of time you'll have available. It's just about giving yourself a rough estimation so you can keep track of your time. And you should, in theory, be able to write an introduction in a minute. You should, in theory, be able to explain a benefit and apply the benefit to the case. So it's 2 paragraphs, 2 marks in 3 minutes, and so on. The main reason why I'm telling you all this is because some students get really bogged down. They spend time rethinking their approach, they spend time analyzing what they've written and think, could they write it any better, etc. And as a result, they end up spending 5 minutes on this section when they should only have been spending 3 minutes, and then they spend another 5 minutes on this section when they should only have been spending 3 minutes. And I'm going to show you how quickly your time can be eaten up if you do not stick with this. And this will demonstrate to you the importance of monitoring your time and why you shouldn't go over. So let's say that we are going to spend 34 minutes answering this question. This is the first part. So when we finished our planning, we're starting our answer with 34 minutes left. So then we spend a minute on our introduction. Now we've got 33 minutes left. Then we spend 3 minutes on our first benefit, and we've got 30 minutes left. We spend 3 minutes on benefit 2, we've now got 27 minutes left. And so on until the bottom, where we have our slightly quicker section, where we're going to write 2 marks for method 3 in 2 minutes. And once we finish that, we'll be left with 16 minutes left. And 16 minutes left is an approximate amount of time that would be needed to write a 45% question in the operational or management case study exam, which of course ties back with our first requirement here being worth 55% of the marks. Now, if we overrun by a couple of minutes here, and we overrun by a couple of minutes here, and we overrun by a couple of minutes here, and then we also overrun by a couple of minutes here, we end up starting our next section with only 8 minutes left. Only 8 minutes left to write 45% of our answer. Now, if you think that in the operational and the management case study exams, a question is worth 25 marks. So a 45% question will be worth between 11 and 12 of the marks of that 25. And if we're thinking that it's going to take about a minute and a half to write a mark's worth of material, and we're entering the final section with 12 marks available, and we've only got 8 minutes, we're not going to get many marks at all. And as a result, we're going to be really hard pushed to pass this exam, because the rough estimation of the pass mark is 60%. So that means we have to get a decent amount of marks in the second section to pass, because this is only worth 55%. So even if we wrote an absolute 100% perfect answer, which again is very unlikely because it's likely that you won't pick up all of these marks here, chances are some of your sections won't be good enough to earn the full mark. They might only earn half marks or 1 mark instead of 2 marks, etc. But even if we wrote perfect answers, we'd only get 55% of the marks. So we have to write a decent amount of material in the second section in order to put us within a chance of getting the pass mark within this question. And of course, that's just this question. We have to replicate that 3 more times. So it shows you how important it is to monitor your time, make sure you're not going over, and make sure that when you get to around 16 minutes left in your exam, and there will be a clock in the corner of your screen, that you are really thinking to yourself, right, I need to wrap up and move on to my next section. And a tip for you, and a bit of advice here, is why that's so important is because you generally start to tire out as you get to the end of a section. Your points become less important, less relevant, less well written. And then when you move on to a next section, you get another boost of enthusiasm as you write about something new. And as a result, generally, when you're answering a question, you pick up 60 to 70% of the marks that you will get for that section in the first half of that section. So we're going to be picking up 60 to 70% of the marks here, probably around here, and the remaining percentage just around here. And so based on that logic, it makes more sense to start our second sub-requirement than it does to spend too long finishing off our first sub-requirement. And by factoring that into your plan, you'll be managing your time more effectively. And again, that's one of the main reasons students fail the case study exams. So it's better to learn that now, learn the importance of time management, and also learn the importance of factoring time into your plan. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it and found it useful. If you would like to see more of these videos, please like and subscribe to the Astranti YouTube channel. And visit the website www.astranti.com to see more of these videos in the future.